Hello and welcome to our first ever Let's Play. I tried to be blue, but it didn't work. Welcome to our first ever Let's Play of
Our
Vectorman.
first non-Sega, or non-Sonic.
Let's Play for Vectorman, played by Death2All238 on the Sega Genesis.
Not exactly.
So, Death2All238, aka Jim. What's going on with Vectorman? First of all, why are we doing this Let's Play?
While we're recording, what the hell is that? While we're recording right now, that wasn't cool. Oh, okay. So next Wednesday, which by the time I upload this episode would already be happened, is Vectorman's 17th anniversary.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's 17 years since the first day we got to actually experience Vectorman. Now, here's the thing. Vectorman, he's only had a handful of games, right?
It's only at 2.
2 games. And they were both on Sega Genesis?
Yeah.
Now, this is going to be pretty neat, but when I was a kid and I saw all those Sega Saturn commercials, I remember one commercial in particular where the announcer's just listing a bunch of different Sega Saturn games, and then he's just like listing them off. And as he's listing them, he's showing, they're showing clips of all the different Sega Saturn games or just games in general. And he's rattling off the list, and he's like, "Oh, we got Saturn Bomberman," and then Vectorman. They show a picture of Vectorman. So all these years until about 2001, I thought Vectorman was Bomberman until I actually played Bomberman, and I'm like, "Hey, that's not that green guy."
You got in a Saturn game. How the hell did they do that one?
It's I don't know.
Someone wasn't paying attention in marketing.
Right, exactly. It's like they just threw a bunch of clips of Sega games together. But anyway, Vectorman, I played this game a lot back in 2001 when I got Sega Smash Pack for Christmas in 2001. And,
What, he was on Sega Smash Pack?
What'd you say?
Was he on Sega Smash Pack?
Yep.
The
On the
Dreamcast?
Yep,
I don't remember
that's
him being on that.
That's my very first experience with Vectorman. And, well, unfortunately, it was the last one. I never played his other game for the Sega Genesis.
The second game is really, really hard compared to the first one.
Speaking of hard, I thought that this game was pretty freaking hard. First of all, the physics are really, really cool because he gets to hover and, moving up and down slopes. And as you can see here, he just changed shape, things like that. But I found this game extremely difficult as far as like aiming at certain enemies. However, it's very easy to aim. I know that's like a contradiction, but you get to aim diagonally, which is cool. Sometimes that enemy is right out of your range and you couldn't really do much with it. But if you played this game more than I have, you probably don't run into those problems.
With problems with aiming?
Yeah.
If they're on a slope below me, yeah, it's hard to aim.
Yep. I've only noticed that mostly on slopes.
Yeah,
But
it's a pretty straightforward game, but if they're on a slope above you, you can just crouch and then he aims up. But then after that, it's a little hard. Like right there, how he did it.
yeah. The last time I've actually played this game may have been about 2005. I know there's a ton of Easter eggs or codes in this game regarding the Sega logo screen.
Yeah, there's like a little mini game right there. You had to shoot it and hit it a few times, and then the letters would fall from the sky, and you had to catch them.
Yep, I remember that. And I remember there was some other thing that you can get on there where, I don't know, this column of light would go around you, and you'd be able to make the Sega logo explode. Just crazy.
You can destroy and turn off the power.
Yeah,
I did that.
Believe it or not, that was probably one of my most favorite things in the game. I don't think I've ever even gotten past the first level. Well, no, I take that back because I remember beating this boss. I'll say the second level. I don't
probably the third level. The second level is only 5 seconds long.
Is it? Probably the third level. I never really played the game that much. Or, let me take that back. I played it all the time. I just never played it thorough. I just played it as if,
Just
I
played
was
it
a
when you're
little
bored
kid.
and just like, okay, I gotta do something else now.
Pretty much. This level was pretty hard to me. Um, I could never dodge the dude, and he would always knock me out.
It's weird, it's a train track in the air.
This game actually reminds me a lot of Bug 2 a little bit. Um, Mainly because he's green, and he kind of looks like what do you call it? Looks like a bunch of different things, but
Whatever the bug that you're supposed to be in Bug 2.
he kind of reminds me of him, but not that much. The way he shoots is really different. The fact that he can hover is pretty cool. They can kind of hover in the Bug 2 game.
It's been a long
Hopefully, I'll
time
get
since I
around.
played that game.
So you've actually played Bug 2?
Yeah, I think I got it on the PC because I remember a long time ago out in California when I was out there. I think Jack in the Box was giving out free games, and one was Sonic Mega Collection or something like that.
That's
The Sonic and Knuckles. And then the other was like Bug. I think there was a third game they also gave out.
Yep. Wiener Schnitzel used to give out Bug toys at one point, and I wasn't lucky enough to get one. I got some other random Sega character. I think it was like Alex Kidd or somebody that I don't care about. But anyway,
I'm a little disappointed that he's not, or Vectorman here is not in All Stars Transformed.
I bet if you made enough noise about it, like Trippy did, to
Yeah.
get knights in the game, it will be a possibility. I don't.
He's actually a pretty demanded character for that. Him and Knights were the two biggest ones I heard.
Wow. Hopefully, there's always DLC. You know.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I said he needed to be in it. DLC him in this game, damn it.
Just never shut up about it. Sega seems to be responding to fan criticism and whatnot these days.
Yeah, kind
And,
of.
kind of. They listen to the fans that are usually wrong about everything.
We'll get to that when we get to Sonic Colors and Generations.
There you go. You know exactly where I was going with that. Hopefully one day I'll get around to doing both of those games, Knights and Bug 2, for the Let's Plays or playthroughs.
You gotta get
Either
that
one.
special guest for Knights.
Yes, and I think I'm actually going to spoil the surprise, but I don't want to speak too soon. But Trippy and Digi have both agreed to do a Let's Play for the new Knights game. Some of you are probably like, who the flip is Trippy and Digi, and why do you keep mentioning them? Well, Trippy is a Knights advocate. I kind of single-handedly blame her, and by blame, I don't mean that's a bad thing, but I literally blame her for us getting a Knights in the Dreams 2, and for getting Knights into Transform, the new Sonic All-Stars racing game. And,
They also put Rella in that too, or whoever it's that person's name.
yeah, exactly. Rilla's going to be in it also, and that's all thanks to Trippy. Basically, she told the writers, which is Steve Lysett, I believe, Sumo Digital. She basically like told him, "Hey, if you don't put Knights in the game, we're going to burn all of our Knight stuff." And he's like, "I don't care," but he did it anyway. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully we can get them to actually join us for the Knights Let's Play. I'm sure we'll probably have a really good time doing that one. I actually met Trippy at Sonic Boom before she got on stage. And for the Bug 2 Let's Play, I'm thinking of having a couple of special guests as well, but I'm not revealing anything on that. Mostly because I don't know who they are. But anyway, back to Vectorman. Now,
I'm surprised
for
you're not
me,
flipping out over this water level.
you know me and water levels. I respect water levels. Can't say I like them, can't say I hate them. I will say that if I had my choice to never play one again, well, I can't really say that.
Lava or
I
water?
really do.
If you had to drop
I would-
one.
If I had to drop one, I'd drop lava levels. But it depends on the game. Definitely depends on the game. Now, what's your take on this as just a general platformer?
It's actually quite challenging. It's not straightforward like other platformers. Others are pretty much just run to the right. Even Sonic is pretty much run to the right. Vectorman's like move up, like this level right here. His whole point of this level is go up to the top.
You know, believe it or not, Vectorman reminds me a lot of Earthworm Jim. Not his character, but definitely the gameplay. The fact that you can move up and down, and there's so many different platforms that you don't really know where the goal of the level is. You can assume it's to the right, like you were saying, but sometimes it's not.
And there's hidden paths and everything.
Yeah, that definitely reminds me of Earthworm Jim, which we will be doing a playthrough of eventually. So much that we have to do.
I wish Sega would do an HD remake of Vectorman like they did with Earthworm Jim, or whoever Interplay did with Earthworm Jim.
I'm pretty sure, I don't think Sega's just gonna forget about Vectorman. However, I think he's low on their priority list. Why? I don't know. But you can tell that because they never mention him in just about anything that they ever mention.
No, but they always sneak him into some random Sonic collection.
Did they?
And he's in Sonic Gems collection, and this is the Ultimate Genesis collection.
Right.
Game.
And, you know, the fact that he was in Smash Back just kind of lets you know that, hey, we haven't forgotten about him. But at the same time, it's like, well, okay, if you haven't forgotten about him, well, what the flip are you doing with him?
I can't really do much when the company that created him is dead.
Oh yeah? Which company is that?
Blue Sky?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You'd think the rights would go to Sega, though.
Well, you never know. Stranger things have happened before. Kind of like how they re-released Crazy Taxi without the original music or locations because they couldn't get the.
And they ended up getting those. They did get the rights to it and put it in the mobile version, though.
Right. Yeah, that's the crazy part. Everything's fine in the iPad.
They should release an update and throw that music in.
Exactly. Now, if they could do something like that for Crazy Taxi where they modified half the game just to release it, I think they should be able to do maybe a little something for Vectorman. Maybe... well, I wouldn't say change his name, but maybe change it, make his design a little bit more modern. Maybe give him some armor or something. You know, change it up a little bit.
There was supposed to be a third game on the PlayStation 2. It got canceled.
Thank goodness it's on the PlayStation 2.
Well, it didn't stick to the original games at all. He did not look like this. He looked like a robot and looked like the Master Chief in Halo.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sega games coming out on the PS2. Why? Because they tend to get ruined that way. Kind of like Shining Force and Virtua Fighter 4. Which I heard that both of those were the worst in their series.
With those PlayStation exclusive?
Pretty much. You know, so part of me is like jealous because I've never got to play those games because I'm a really huge fan of both of those franchises. However, another part of me is like, oh, I'm glad I didn't have to suffer through that because I know how horrible everyone's saying it is. So sometimes, I don't know, I think we should be grateful when a game gets canceled for the PS2. But that's just me. That's just me and my Sony hatred. Completely biased and not afraid to say so.
This was also released on the Wii and stuff.
What'd you say?
They also released this on the Wii's Virtual Console.
They did?
Yeah, both of them. They were separate.
Oh, so that's pretty recent.
But
So
why
are
would you
you-
want to play it on the Wii?
Exactly. So are you a huge Vectorman fan?
Yeah, it seems like when it comes to Sega, everyone loves Sonic and they have that one other Sega game. Like for you, it's Knight.
Right. Most people don't know this about me. My name is TK the Hedgehog. However, Knights is my absolute favorite Sega game. It's not even Sonic. It's crazy to think about. I have a Sonic website. Sonic clothing, t-shirts.
don't have many
nice.
night stuff.
Exactly. They don't have that much nice stuff. Otherwise, I would totally be all over it. I could always get someone to make custom stuff, but in the end, how special would it be to me? You know? But Sonic is always like number one, but Knights is like just my favorite. You know, and I know that makes no sense at all. But Sonic is like, bam, Sonic is so cool, he's amazing. And Knights is like, bam. So that's you and Vectorman, huh?
Yeah.
So now I know how it feels.
I don't think I ever owned the second game on the Genesis. I think I only rented it. I still have the first game on the Genesis. It's with my little collection of Sega stuff on the shelf. He's another Sega game you should check his music out, because he has some of the best music out there.
I did always like his music. I was a fan of, well, of course I didn't get too far into the game, but I just like the general style of it. The music actually kind of reminds me of like a post-apocalyptic world in the first level. And I don't know, I like games like that. It kind of reminds me of like Terminator back on Genesis. Or the Game Boy version.
They had a Terminator game on the Game Boy?
Yes, they surely did. It was on Game Boy Color. It was actually pretty horrible, but it had good music. Of course, a lot of people make this. The game was too hard. That was my main gripe with it.
I think there was a lot of games back then. Except for Sonic. And people complain that Sonic 2 is too hard.
Back then, I don't think they believed in including certain instructions in the manual.
People don't even read it in the first place. Where do you think that whole barrel of doom from Sonic 3 came from?
Pretty much.
You didn't read it, you fell for that one.
Well, I have a good excuse. My copy didn't come with a manual. Unfortunately, I didn't get my Sonic 3 replaced until
Sonic 3 came in a Sonic 3 came in a very weird case compared to the others. It was like nothing but plastic, like papery plastic.
Yeah, I didn't even get my Sonic 3 until like 12 years after, you know, I was replacing all my Genesis games that were stolen or lost or whatever. And yeah, I didn't even.
This game doesn't take itself that seriously. He does like a little victory pose and his chest just pops out and he's like, oh crap, shoves it back in.
Explain to me how the TVs work in this game. I never understood that.
They're just like Sonic, like his item boxes. They carry health, they have the photons which you collect your points, or new weapons, transformations, checkpoints. And in Vectorman 2, those are replaced with giant sacks or something like that.
Wow.
I know something funny.
What?
Disney got the idea from Wall-E from Vectorman.
How?
Not a concept of it anyway. Vectorman's in the future, and Earth is so polluted that humanity had to leave it, and so they left Orbots behind to clean it. And what's the main part of Wall-E?
Are you kidding me? I was just, believe it or not, you're gonna flip when I say this, but honestly, like truthfully, and I have witnesses, I was just watching Wall-E last night, and that's exactly what they said. That's crazy. So that's what Vectorman's about?
Yeah, part of it. Just this overseer of everything. Like Vectorman's job is to deliver toxic sludge to the sun. Mm-hmm. And while he was gone, this guy named Raster, got a nuclear bomb attached to him, and you know, pollution and evil stuff like that. He's a bad guy now.
Wow.
And all the Orbots are enemies except for Vectorman, which is kind of a coincidence, but who cares? It's awesome.
That blows my mind. I actually never knew that. I never even bothered to get engaged with it. I figured it was just like one of those 90s vigilante, you know, blow up the world because you can type of games. Or something. I don't even know what I thought, but I didn't think of that. That's actually pretty interesting.
Just a green robot that destroys everything in his path.
That's pretty cool. Wow. So he delivers sludge to the sun. Wow.
Yeah, you'll see it. That's how the beginning of the second game opens up.
That's pretty cool. Does Disney acknowledge the fact that they totally ripped off Sega?
Probably not.
Wow. You know, I was actually, this is completely unrelated, but I was watching Atlantis the last night also. I just was in a Disney mood, I guess, but I was watching Atlantis, or Lost City of Atlantis, or whatever the heck it's called, and it was completely Avatar. I don't know if you ever watched Avatar.
I have not.
Consider yourself lucky. Just skip Avatar, because it's 3 hours long, and just watch Atlantis. It's only about an hour and 30 minutes, and it's actually better because it takes place in an underwater city instead of a city with like floating rocks and children with bows and arrows. It's in blue people. It's more like, I don't know. It's just more.
You know how Avatar should have ended?
Oh.
You know the planet scanning in Mass Effect 2?
Yep.
That's how it should have ended.
Mass Effect. So Vectorman is not necessarily in a post-apocalyptic world. He's just in a post-destroyed,
A very
crusty,
polluted
crappy.
world.
There you go. So where is he?